I'm live. Um, okay. Trying to make sure this is working and um pretty sure hopefully nobody's I'm pretty sure nobody's watching, but in case people are, um I am practicing you know what, turn this down. Coloring. Um and you can see I draw these pages. So this is from my coloring book. You know what? I probably need to introduce myself. I'm Joe Davis, and I created the Starseed Panic Pages coloring book. This is what it looks like. And I'm also creating another book in this series for affirmations. And I posted this one, Meditate, on my social media. And you can see this is like the sketch pad I used for all my pages there. It's almost full. I've been drawing these things like crazy. But I wanted to make this tonight to show people how this works. So I'm going to be doing a little bit of this page. I don't think I'm going to finish it on this. And this is like a practice kind of live. I'm still trying to connect all the social media together. I'm like a one-woman show, okay? This is a very, very, very like duct tape and chicken wire setup. Okay. So bear with me, please. So we're going to get started. So with the panic pages, and I'm going to tell you about panic pages as I'm doing this. So I created these because coloring is something that's soothing, and numbers and counting, they help with anxiety. And the coloring in this book will actually help you kind of refocus from that anxiety and emotion to just something, a calmer state. So how you do it is you have to color the page, but you color the spaces by number, and you color by number consecutively. So that's a way of counting. So you start with 1, locate 1, which is right here in the middle. And I'm doing this upside down so you guys can see on the camera. So that's why if it looks kind of weird, the coloring I'm doing, the way I'm coloring, that's because I'm looking upside down. And I made these pages by hand, hand drew, hand inked, put in the numbers. And still, for me, it's kind of tough to find a number sometimes. So we did 1. We have to go to 2. So let's do a purple. And another part of this is you have to pick out your color scheme as you go along. So I kind of do that by leaving out different color pencils. I'll have like a little, side holding area so that I can keep track of where we're going, because the numbers do not go. It's not like 1, 2, and then 3 is going to be 3 may be in the letters, but it may not be. So the next thing I color, it could be something else. So what is the next thing I'm coloring? Looks like 3 is one of the petals of the flower behind the word. And so it's kind of just coloring. And that's it. And you keep going, you find the numbers. Some of the numbers are really harder to find. Some of them are in these tiny, tiny, tiny spaces. Some of them are in big, big spaces. And that's just the variation of the spaces to kind of get you thinking about, what am I going to color? What color am I going to use? What scheme am I going to put in? How am I going to find these numbers? And it all gets you off of whatever it is that you were worried about when you started this page. I promise you. I've actually had this. So the book is available on Amazon. The link is in the bio of this channel. Go there, grab yourself one. Soon I'll have a couple of other volumes. I'm actually working on a Christmas book that should be done in a couple of days. And I have another volume of panic pages and the affirmation book that this one is part of. But the original one you can get right now. And, just kind of start. There's a review up on Amazon. and I'm stalling because I can't find 4. I told you guys this is kind of, oh, here we go. Here's 4. So 5 is another petal. I think I'm going to keep the flower red. I think I'm just going to do the whole flower red. So I'm going to keep the red out. Oh, sorry about that. I dropped my pencil sharpener. So you can get I'm going back to, what was I saying? You can get a copy from Amazon and, just kind of go to town. 6 is another part of the flower petal. So that's going to be this red, this kind of orange red. I don't know if it's coming out that way to you guys. And 7 is a part of the petal. 8 is a part of the petal. This little spot right here, I'm going to color it too. See, where's 9? 9 is a part of the petal. Wow. So I started these pages because I started these pages actually in the spring of 2023. 10 is part of the petal. I started going through a divorce in 2022, separated from long marriage, 24 years. And really it was quite the adjustment. And it was something that I thought was going to start off amicable. And it got really bad really fast. And then, I don't know, people who've been divorced, sometimes other people put their 2 cents in, and it kind of got wild and out of control. I ended up moving to a new state with kids, and it was just a lot going on. I needed some way to kind of calm myself, to kind of get my stuff together, get my head together. I'm neurodivergent. I have ADHD. So one of the things that I did was I did coloring. I was looking for a job. I was trying to get a place to live. We were staying in a hotel. We stayed there for about 6 months. And I was really trying to get my stuff together and going through the coloring books, and the kids were going through the coloring books too. So there's one day I'm sitting there with job applications, trying to get those done on LinkedIn and Indeed and all that. And I've got housing applications. Those things are crazy. And so one of the things that I need to put that back. One of the things that I did was I looked for my coloring book to kind of calm my nerves, get myself together, and, so that I can get those applications done. I couldn't find a coloring book that wasn't all colored in, and I needed some pages. So I grabbed my kid's sketchbook and I drew my own pages. I drew my own coloring pages. I drew them and I color them, and I drew them and I color them. And that did help. And I kept doing this because I kind of felt I was onto something, making my own coloring pages with the spaces that were the size. Because, those of you who color, sometimes you get those books where the spaces are all too small and too complex. And it's like there's no really room to like fill in the color. So I wanted big spaces, and I wanted just designs and things. And so I started drawing those up. But I noticed I kind of started thinking of, I need something a little bit more to kind of switch the noise off in my brain, kind of calm me down from like the panic attack after panic attack that I was having at that time, because there was all kinds of stuff going on. And my son ended up in the hospital. He got sick. There was something went around school. It got in his lungs. And he ended up being fine. But he was in the hospital for days, and stuff like that was going on. And I just needed something more. So I remembered that counting helps neurodivergents, especially, get through, kind of helps calm us down, calm our anxiety. And so I started adding numbers to the page, kind of like a number find. And the difference it made, was phenomenal. I was like, I couldn't believe it. How different it was to just kind of switch my brain off. I'm at 15 right here. Um, it was easier to switch my brain off um, when I when I put the numbers in and I got to concentrate. I just sharpened it. See, coloring people problems. Sharpening a pencil that breaks off. Yeah. So anyway, it was really kind of groundbreaking for me to figure out that I could legit turn my brain off. Not off, but I can legit turn my brain from panic mode to hyper focus on an activity with this. You know, I had some kind of control, you know. I felt like I had some kind of control, especially at a time where things were just awful. I mean, there was a part of the reason that I came to Colorado is because I needed a job, and we kind of fled a domestic violence situation back in Indiana, and it was a lot of stress, and the panic attacks were kind of wild. And anybody who has kids knows that you really can't lose your collective shit when you have kids because they're dependent on you. And that's where, can you guys see? That's where these books came in, because as I'm coloring to calm my brain down, my kids would jump in and want to color a page, so it ended up being something that I did with them. It was a bonding activity. It ended up being something that I used whenever I needed to calm my nerves. And drawing the pages were just as effective for me as it was to I hate this. I hate when they break mid coloring, but drawing the pages were just as effective for refocusing me as coloring the pages. So, I hate this little thing. If anybody who watches this later, if you know of some great pencils, could you give me some suggestions? Because the ones that just keep breaking, these are Crayolas. So they're supposed to be the best ones. I don't know. I don't think they are. But yeah, I'm not gonna fight with Crayola today. Where was I at? But yeah, that's how I got the painting pages done. And I've just been going from there. Someone suggested, I'm kind of trying to sit down here. Yeah, just knocked my cup over. Someone suggested that I try to put these together in a coloring book. Actually, it was my son, who was 10 at the time. He suggested I put these together in a coloring book, and I did. And I published them in Amazon just to see if I could. I published them through Amazon and the last summer, and it was like, this is cool. But I know nothing about marketing. I can write some great marketing copy for other people. That's kind of, how I made my living, especially during the pandemic. But marketing strategies, all that, nothing. I didn't have any of that. So I kind of submitted my coloring book for this competition through Dress for Success. I don't know if you guys have heard of that. It's a program that helps women with clothes for work. When we were living in the hotel, I needed some clothes to go on job interviews with, and I got referred to Dress for Success, and Anne Klein there helped me find a suit that I actually wore on the news. The clip of that is on my Instagram page. But I ended up through them, and they do a lot more than just put clothes on women, and they have programs and opportunities. And so one of their programs was called the Success Starter Program, and it's an entrepreneur course. It's a partnership with Coca-Cola Foundation, and at the end of the course there was a pitch competition But the course had modules and classes that taught everything I needed to know about growing a business, including marketing strategies and stuff. And I also got a mentor, um, Michelle Combs of Human Design, who kind of really helped me out. As a matter of fact, it was her idea to start doing these for me to start doing these videos, the Color with Me videos. Thank you, Michelle, if you get to see this. But I went through that course. It was 12 weeks. I pitched this coloring book as a business last week, and let me tell y'all, the response I got, I was not ready for, because to me, this is just a coloring book. It's not that big of a deal, but I didn't win the pitch competition. The winner, actually, rightfully so, she flew all the way to France. She made a perfume that you're going to be hearing about probably soon, because it's going to be big. A perfume that is made for people with scent sensitivities. So if like perfumes get to you, and you really can't stand, or you live with somebody who like really can't stand like loud perfumes, this one is great. And she like flew to France to get it formulated and everything. So if you ever get to see this, Tiaja, go Tiaja. She's going to be pitching to the Coca-Cola Foundation at the beginning of December. But anyway, I didn't place, but I did get $100 in seed money from the Dress for Success, and I ended up buying some art supplies with that. So, but the stuff that I learned from that class, I'm implementing, and you're going to be seeing more of me, more of the coloring book. And I see this now as more than just a coloring book. It's actually a pretty important tool that I think that people are going to enjoy, and you're going to be seeing more of it as we go along. Especially now, this is like the first of a launch of a couple of different things that you're going to be seeing from me about what I call the panic pages. These are the panic pages, and I call them the panic pages because you can get them and sit down, and while you're in the middle of a panic, and if you can get yourself to sit down and grab some coloring pencils. Next time I'll try to use markers so you can see the difference. You can grab something to color with, sit down, and get your mind to go from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4. We're up to 23 now. If you can get your brain to kind of just sit through those first couple of numbers and let this suck you in, you'll calm down. You will. And I've had people do this book while they were in the middle of just high panic. One the reviewer on Amazon, she actually told me, we connected offline, and she told me that she was in the middle of a fight with her boyfriend, and she got the book out and just started coloring, and just it was just amazing how fast she just calmed down. There's another, my good friend Donnie, who's probably going to be seeing this later, bought the book and gave it to a friend of his who was prone to panic attacks. And yes, I'm talking to you because I cannot find 24. So that's how good these numbers are, just kind of strewn across the page, because I can't even find them, and I made this dang thing. But I'll find it as I'm talking. So, but anyway, what was I saying? Oh, yeah. So Donnie bought the book for somebody he knew who was prone to panic attacks, and she sent me a note that she loved. She did like a couple of the pages, and she was just in love with the book. So I'm really glad that it's hitting people, and slowly, very, very slowly, the rollout is. This is definitely going to be a slow burn thing, but I think that once people get used to it, once they start using it, it will be big. Maybe not. It will be helpful. It will help a lot of people. Where's that dang number? I think I'm having problems finding it because this is upside down. Yeah, so where is 24? Did I skip 24? No, I didn't. I made sure I got all the numbers. Sometimes there's a number that gets buried in there. And let me tell you, oh, I found it. So one of the reasons why the numbers are all over the place is that the science shows that when you make your eyesight go from one side of the page to the other and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, that also helps calm you down. Here's 24. That's also calming. So yeah, this is like a self-soothing type of activity um, that I really hope that y'all get to try out. It's available in TikTok Shop. I have an Etsy store. Those links are in the bio. Um, the Etsy store and TikTok Shop, you can get signed copies from me, and I sign them and I put a little note in there for you. So, or you can just get them from Amazon. Um, yeah. So, um, and that's it. I'm just hoping that this is the start. I want people to come together and start talking about anxiety and trying to cope and coping mechanisms and just, kind of bonding over the need to, kind of self-soothe. I think we're big enough. We should be able to do that. We're adults. Um, so many of us have these problems, and we don't want to talk about them. And it's time. It's time we talk about them. So I'm hoping that these videos where you come color with me, hoping that, and then, I have other things planned where I'm going to be trying to engage the community. Um, so I'm hoping that that brings everybody together to kind of, I don't know, eventually just start talking about what's going on in our brains, because it's not going to get any better. And actually, after Tuesday, and seeing all the posts of people with that, we're gonna need to really, really tap into something a lot bigger than us and a lot stronger. And I think coloring is a start. 26 is this one right here. Um, so yeah. So again, my book is Starseed Panic Pages coloring book. The avatar for this page is the front of the book. I'm just coloring this sketch that I made this week, that I posted online. This sketch is actually available for free. You can download this PDF of this one on my website. So get a copy. I'm going to go ahead and finish this offline. Get a copy of this for free. Try it out. Try out the panic pages. See how they work for you. And keep an eye out for other ones that I have going, because this is just the start. I have a whole plan through 2025. You're going to be seeing me and hearing me a lot. Okay, so this was nice. Thank you for watching this while I test this out. This was totally a test run. I'm calling it a success. And hopefully we'll start getting people in here. Okay. Until next time, bye.